Hello, welcome to another episode of the Blue Mountain Makes podcast. I'm Mary Lynn, coming to you from the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, where spring has officially sprung. I'm looking out my window at a very neon green willow tree at the moment, but we've got daffodils, we've got hyacinth bushes, we've got a bunch of other spring flowers I don't know the names of, blooming everywhere. I'm just waiting for the tulips to bloom. I'm very excited. It's my favorite flower. So, high pollen, also getting over a cold, so if I sound a little weird, that's why. And also all 4 dogs are splayed somewhere out in and out of camera range, so if you hear weird noises, it's probably them. I thought that I didn't have a whole lot to show, but then I kind of kept pulling out finished objects, so let's jump into it. This will be hopefully a short episode because I'm squeezing this in at the end of a very busy day. First off, I finished my hand-spun Musselburgh. So this is, an adult medium, I think. Let's just say adult medium. I knit it on size 3 needles. This is my hand spun. It is a combination of yak, merino, and silk. I got it from Donna's Sheep Shed at Rhinebeck this past fall, and I am very pleased with how it turned out. This guy, I'm just gonna put it on. There's no helping this hair anyways, right? It's nice and long. It covers my ears. The last one that I made, this much of my ear is exposed when I like the folded brim, and it's fine, but I don't know, if you're outside and it's long enough and it's cold enough, this part of your ear does get cold. So this one fully covers, plus I still have a little extra room at the top, so it's room for a bigger head if I need to let somebody borrow it. But it's super, super soft. I really like the way that the yarn spun up. I ran out. I think that's where I was the last time I shared this project. I had just run out of yarn, and I didn't want to spend too much. I have 2 big, not braids, but poofs of this particular combo, but I didn't want to spend too much because then, you just have this kind of weird amount of leftover hand spun, but I spun too little, so I think I have this much left in a little ball, so I did a pretty good job with my second spin. But it is a 2-ply, is it a line? No, it's a 2-ply. 2-ply, and I knit this with size 3 needles, and I love it. And it is, I'm not wearing it much now, but I have gotten a couple wears out of it, and it's been really nice. I've gotten quite a few compliments on it, so I think it looks store-bought, personally. And I'm pretty proud of how that spin came out. It's very, even stitches for the most part. I think that the little, brown neps, or the yak part of the combo, I don't think there's a whole lot of yak in this. But, gives it a little bit of extra something. I really like the Musselburgh hat pattern. I haven't tried the Oslo, which is the Petite knit version of a very similar hat. The two seem to be very popular, but the nice part about the Musselburgh is you cast on the crown and then just knit until you have a big enough section to swatch, and then you measure it, and based on your measurements, then the pattern tells you how much more you need to cast on to get to your, desired crown size. So it is very much a just get started, don't do math kind of pattern, and it's a lot of stockinette because technically it's just a giant tube folded in on itself. So it's a very good stress knit, bindless, TV. There goes Bailey. Who knows where she's going. So I highly recommend this pattern. I do have 2. I will probably make more. It's a great gift pattern too. So there's that. So my next finished object I did wear all day, and it is now warm enough that I don't need it, but it is my finished, oh my gosh, I don't remember what this is called. Margaux cardigan, I think. I'm pretty sure. It's the Margaux cardigan by Rust Knitwear. I should put it on. I'm gonna put it on. The only thing that's bad about wearing this when you're wearing a dark top is that when you take it off, you're covered in little, woolly fibers. But it is a little longer than I had planned on making it, I guess I should say. Ta-da! It's giving old granny in a good way. I kind of wish I had pockets. I wear this a lot. There's 4 buttons, obviously. Ta-da! I did go a little bit oversized. So, initially I intended for it to end, here-ish, natural waist to here, maybe. And, clearly I was not paying attention. Usually it's the other way around, right? Usually me. I tend to say, oh yeah, that looks like it's long enough. I'm ready to be done with the body, and I just cast off the body, and then it's a little too cropped for my liking. And then there's this one that was like, oh snaps, that's like really long. I like it a lot, but this is a really excellent cardigan pattern. It has like interesting details, like the shoulder seaming. You actually start here with this pattern, so you cast on a couple of stitches and you knit this really long skinny thing, and then you pick up stitches along that for the front and the back, and then join underneath of the sleeves and just work it back and forth from there. It's a broken rib pattern, and it does have a double knit button band, which took me a really long time, but I did it. It's like the worst part, I think, of a cardigan is the button band. Like, I'm ready to be done, you know? It's like, oh no, you still have a lot of stitches left to knit. But I powered through and I did it. It was my first successful double knit button band. Turns out my entire life I've picked up too few stitches, and so that's why my button bands were always kind of like curving up like that. All my other ones I've just like scrapped and tried something different, but this guy was successful. I did it correctly. Hooray. I just used coconut shell buttons. I got like a big pack from the internet, so most of my cardigans have the same buttons, but that's okay. The other detail about this cardigan is, like on the sleeves, you see this line, and then same thing here. So anywhere that is like a change, I want to say a change, but like before the ribbing on pretty much every section and where the sleeve separation is, you basically have to cast off the whole thing and then pick up through the back loop to give that little extra detail, which when I was doing it, I was like, this is not worth it. It's dumb. I don't like it. But now that it's done, it does give it like a clean finish, and I do like it. Would I do it all the time? Probably not. But if I do make this sweater again, I would follow it to pattern, because I do like the way that it looks. So this is I believe a size 3. I knitted on size 5 needles, and 3 is for the ribbing. And I did use drop Selima, which is an alpaca wool blend. I have quite a few garments made out of it at this point, and it is one of my go-to knits for a DK or a worsted weight sweater. I think it holds up really well. I like the way that it looks, the way that it feels. I think it has pretty good stitch definition. So if you're on the fence about using an alpaca content in like a sweater or a cardigan, I'm definitely on the side that says go for it, because I've had nothing but good things to say about this yarn. So that's this. Now I'm hot, taking it off. Gotta run warm anyways. Okay, so then this next one is my last one. My last finished object is a little bit of a sad story, I guess. So I have a friend who lives, I'm in Virginia, she's in Tennessee. She's having her first baby. Very excited. Going to a Tennessee-based baby shower next weekend. And I was like, oh, I'll just knit a bunch of little things. I got the invitation, I think, in early February. She's not due until May. And I kind of thought she was going to have like a second family party up here, and like I would just go to that one, and I thought I had a little bit more time, so I hadn't started any baby knits. Well, no, she's not doing a second one. She's only having the Tennessee one, so I've got to zip down to Tennessee, and now I have to finish all these baby knits before next Friday. So my first set that I wanted to do was this is a mostly finished object. I haven't put the buttons on or like woven in ends, but anyways, the Seaside set by Petite Knit. It is a top and bottom pattern, and I made a set for my nephew in December, Christmas. I made it for his Christmas present. Oh my god, losing my mind. Out of the same color scheme, so I'll put up a little picture of baby Billy. I have permission from his mom. It was so cute, and he's so cute in it, and it was an enjoyable little knit. It's not bad. I don't like small knits because I find them fiddly. Like, I won't knit plushies or anything like that because they just frustrate me. So I was a little worried about the sleeves and the legs and stuff on this, but it wasn't bad. So I still had some yarn from that. Plus, I bought a sweater's quantity for myself of this camel color yarn, and then didn't use it for the pattern that it was intended for. So now I just have an adult human amount of this yarn, so going to be a lot of khaki colored baby knits this year, I think. But this is the top, and you will notice and probably say, wait, Mary Lynn, why why are the stripes on the sleeves like that? Well, that's because I made pants out of the corresponding. Made the pants first, then I moved on to the sweater because I knew I only had one ball of this, right? And I don't have time to order it and get it in and finish it in time for this baby shower. So I was like, I'm just going to make the pants and then figure out what I have to do for the stripes on the sweater, right? Like, I have plenty of the khaki color. If I end up just having to do, I'll figure it out. I don't know. It wasn't until I had completed it, blocked it, dried it, got it off the blocking mats, that I looked at these pants and said, wait a minute, something's not right. Oh my god. Y'all, it has been a rough couple of months. It was fitting in these pants. And what's worse is, like, this little bit of extra height I've got. No, that's part of the button band, or the whatever, you're supposed to, like, fold it over and put elastic in it. So really the crotch depth is only that much. What an idiot. Like, I had my measuring tape with me. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I promise you I was not drinking and doing this, but, like, I just pulled it off the blocking mats and it's like, that ain't it. It's not gonna work. So, essentially, this is a scrap. It's just bad. Like, so he will be getting the top of this sweater set. And I thought about, since now I have all this extra, maroon yarn from these pants that I'm gonna eventually rip out, like, should I just rip the sleeves back and then finish the striping pattern? But the answer to that is no, because I don't think I have time, because I'm also knitting another sweater for him that is nowhere near being finished, and I just know myself. So I don't think I'm going to do that. It's just going to be like, this is my special touch on this sweater, and it is what it is. It's fine. This is the 9 to 12 month, I believe, size. I haven't put the buttons on yet, so it kind of buttons up the side, and it looks really cute for baby. Yeah, and my friend does not know. She's one of those people that doesn't, like, find out the sex of her baby, and it's killing me, because I'm one of those people that has to know. And so I'm trying to do gender neutral. That's not like, I mean, I feel like most clothing is gender neutral, but also if I knew it was a girl, I would definitely be, like, knitting some little cute dresses. So I guess there's Christmas for that. But yeah, so I'm going a little bit bigger on the sizes. The baby's due in May. She lives in Tennessee. It's pretty warm down there for the summer months. So I don't imagine the kid wearing this until at least September, October, November. So both of the sweaters I'm knitting for unknown baby are a little bit bigger, but it's so precious and little. So the khaki color is Drops Baby Merino, which is the A Superwash merino yarn, and the maroon color is Drops, no it's not, it's Knitpicks Comfy, which is a combination, I think, mercerized cotton and acrylic. And I have made a couple of baby things out of that, and I quite like it. I actually have a top for myself. I have, like, a sweater's quantity of it for myself for a summer top that I'll be working on shortly. I think it holds up pretty well. So that's my last mostly finished object with all of my things I need to weave in, but that's okay. So that's that. And then I only have 3 works in progress, one of which is baby knit. I've already spoiled that, so I guess we'll just talk about that first. Cha-cha-cha. So more Drops Baby Merino. This is leftover from a sweater that I knit for my sister-in-law 2 Christmases ago. 2 Christmases? It's been a while. This has been sitting in stash. I'm trying to stash down this year. I'm trying to be good. Which I'm going to ruin, because at the end of this I have yarn I just bought today for a shawl. Whoops. Anyways, so this guy will eventually become a storm sweater. Petite knit storm sweater baby pattern. So this is that textured pullover that I think, if you're like me and you're online, you've seen many times. This is technically the back yoke, so I've already, like, messed this up once, ripped it out, and I'm now on my second try because I didn't count my ribbing right. I don't know how I managed that. First go around I made it too short, but on the first time around I did make it too. So you start your back yoke, you get to your shoulder, and then you do the 2 shoulder pieces, and then you connect it to knit down the body. And then the neckline is picked up last. And it's a folded collar, but I don't think I'm going to do a folded collar. We'll see when I get there. We'll see how I feel. But so far I have not yet quite completed the back yoke. But I am starting this little diamond pattern that's really fun. It is an easy pattern. It's an easy knit so far. If it's something that you've been interested in and had, thoughts about, I would recommend it, I think. Maybe I'll hold off on that recommendation until it's done, but I can't imagine it gets much harder. It is really fun and interesting to kind of watch these textures come out. I don't know if the camera's picking up on it very well, but my voice is also starting to go at this point in the day, so I'm trying to hurry through this. This one is going to be a 6 to 9 months, so slightly smaller in theory than my Seaside sweater. So hopefully baby can wear this in the fall. They're really cute. I hope I get pictures. I'm sure I will. I love baby pictures of little baby knits. But yeah, I'll have more thoughts on that a little bit later. But if I like it, there is an adult size, so maybe I'll have an adult storm sweater to pull on. And my other not so exciting but somewhat interesting project is socks, 2 at a time, for the first time in my life. So I'm not much of a sock knitter. Sock knitting is usually throw it in my bag, have it for when I'm waiting in line somewhere or at a doctor's appointment. Anytime that I need something to occupy myself, it's usually a sock. And I like it because they're so small and there's only one ball of yarn, and so you can just take it with you. However, now that I'm doing it 2 at a time, it is no longer a mobile project, so it just sits at my desk for when I'm bored while I'm playing, a lull in a game or something. It's been interesting, and the reason that I'm doing it 2 at a time for the first time ever is because I finished up a pair of socks, I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago, and there was almost a solid year between when I cast on the first sock and cast off the second sock, because I don't work on it very often, and then the second sock does not fit at all. It's bad. I don't know how I messed the toe up so bad twice, because I ripped it out the first time and then made it worse the second time, and I got so mad it's in timeout in my bins because I just can't look at it right now. So eventually I will fix that, because it's really nice hand-dyed yarn that my sister got me for my Christmas present a couple years ago. But that being said, I was I'm just going to try this out, and just completely new to me. So I'm doing the new 2x2 technique. I'm doing on size 1 needles, Chowku. I am going to be doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which is also new to me. But I have a very narrow heel, and it looks like that's going to be good for me. And then I have a sock book somewhere in that mess that has a bunch of different toe options, and I'm just going to pick one of those. And it's going to be a whole new to me thing. So this is kind of an experiment all over. Not to mention this is hand-dyed. Not hand-dyed. Well, it is hand-dyed. It's not my hand-dyed. This is hand-spun yarn. And the fiber came from Hip Strings, which is one of my favorite dyers. And my sister gave this to me for my birthday this year. So that's ball number 1, and that's ball number 2. It's very muted. It's a Polworth. I don't think it's Polworth. Maybe it is. Definitely Dorset. It's a mix of sheeps. This is a little itchy, and there is some a nylon content in it. So when I saw that, I was like, well, it'll make great socks. But it is it's very dark, I will say. And the color changes are pretty subtle, especially in this sock. This one ended up with some really weird pooling, which I found that to be very interesting, versus this one, not so much. So it's a 3-ply fingering weight yarn, and I didn't do anything really special with it. I would say it's probably a fractal. I'm not a very technical spinner. I spin because I love to do it, not because that's not gonna focus. Why not? But yeah. So there's these. We'll see how this goes. It has been. It's nice to know that I'm going to end up with 2 identical socks, errors and all. You know what I mean? So that's the plus. But the downside is that now I'm so yarn everywhere. Hence the fact that this sits on the desk and does not move. Which is also kind of nice too, because if the 2 balls do not ever move, then I just rotate one way for one pass and then the other way for the other pass, and they never really get tangled, so that's kind of nice too. But yeah, so that is an unnamed sock pattern of my own chemistry making. And last but not least is the Traveler shell, which I kind of thought I'd be done with by now, but I am not. This is by Andrea and Mowry, and it is not in a great place to be sharing on a podcast, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I'm a bad podcaster. Yay! I don't even know what I'm looking at. Technically, oh, I know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the wrong side of it. I should just knit this and like then show it, but I'm also at a spot where I have to actually like pay attention, and that's why I stopped, you know? I'm at the neck shaping or the short row shaping, and I really want to pay attention and not have to redo this one, so sure. The portion that I am currently working on is this, which is the armhole. So it is a bottom-up sweater cardigan. Start at the bottom. You have this horizontal ribbing pattern. That's the wrong side. That's the right side. That stretches like a lot when it's blocked. I've made a Traveler hoodie, and I know that it does stretch quite significantly, because I'm looking at this like that is not enough for the body of anything, but it definitely will. You start at the bottom, you work your way up, and then you knit up for this armhole, and I'm currently at the point where I'm doing the short row shaping to shape the top of the shoulder. It does have a little bit of a V-neck to it too, so there is some V-neck shaping for the armhole. And then I haven't really read the pattern beyond that to see how all of this is going to connect, but I am working on the front right side. So it will be about that deep when it's done. And I don't think you can really see, but yeah. It's not in a good place to share, because technically all of these resting stitches I probably should have just put on like scrap yarn or one of those, oh my gosh, one of those barber cord things, but I couldn't be asked, and so I'm just like awkwardly holding this mass of yarn, because that's easier than taking 4 seconds to put it on a barber cord. I like to make my own life hard. This is a size 3. Most of her patterns I knit are almost always size 3. It is going to end up being a little bit of positive ease. It's not going to be as long as my other cardigan. I've made a lot of cardigans this year, which is really funny because I don't typically knit cardigans. Maybe I'm in a cardigan kind of mood, but I think it's going to be really great. I wanted it for spring. I still want it for spring because I think it's going to be really good with like today, I could wear it over this tank top and not be too warm, because it is a short sleeve cardigan. So it is made with mohair and merino, held double. So the mohair factor of it, I think, is going to make it a little bit warmer. But because it's a short sleeve, I think it'll be fine. And it has pockets, so that will be great. Using a hand spun. So the body of it is in my hand spun, which is that guy. And then the merino is not merino, mohair. I do that every time. I just need to give up. Mohair is forever merino in my brain. I don't know why. But the mohair, it is a merino and a mohair, which makes it even more complicated or confusing in my mind. So the mohair is drops kid silk. So originally this is what I was going to knit with this khaki color. I was going to hold it with this yellow, and it looked abysmal. Granted, online when I bought it, it's called Peanut, that khaki color, so I thought it was going to be a little more of like a brown yellow, and it is certainly not yellow at all. There's no yellow, so this is a little bit brighter than what I had originally like envisioned for it, but it still, I think, looks really good, so I will be happy to have this in my wardrobe. And I also really despise this stitch pattern. I don't know why. I shared this before, like, the Traveler hoodie was such a product knit. Like, I don't know what it is about these horizontal stripes. They're not hard. It's a 10-row repeat. It's not difficult. It's just knits and purls. My brain, though. That's why I haven't started the short rows, because for whatever reason, shaping anything in that pattern, I'm just like, I can't do this. So it's probably going to be something I start in the morning when I'm fresh and I've got a cup of coffee in my hands, and not at the afternoon or evening when I'm already kind of like out of it. And I have been sick. Like this past week I was really sick, so I didn't get a whole lot of knitting of anything done, but up until now, this has been, I will say, a good book knit, because, you know, while it is just knits and purls, it's the whole row is knit or whole row is purl. So, you know, when you're doing the body of it, you've got quite a while. You don't really have to pay attention until the next row. So I've got a little book prop, and I'll prop my book open and just knit away, and it's been nice for that. So that is all I have to say about it. Oh, except that it's on size 4 needles. Size 3 pattern, whatever, size 3 for size 3 sweater, size 4 US needles with a lace weight, and a mohair held together. I definitely tried to use this yellow yarn for a Caitlin Hunter pattern last year, and like I got all the way through the yoke, and because I was in denial about the fact that it's definitely lace weight, it was way too small, and it did all that work for no reason. Like, I could just gauge swatch, but no, I never do. So ripped it out, and this is much better. But yeah, the last thing I would like to share with you is the thing that I am very much looking forward to. I have wanted to make I'm gonna look it up so I don't lie. It's the Artist Shawl by Natasha Hornsby, or Moonstruck Knits. I have loved that thing since it came out. It's been at least a year, maybe 2 years at this point. Like, time is slipping away from me, but I absolutely adore that shawl. I need it in my life. It's something about that texture that really, like, is calling to me, and then the two-toned, like, diamonds that are in it. It's just so pretty. It's, like, multi-dimensional. I want it in my life. So I found this picture on Ravelry of a color combination that I fell in love with, and today I went to Charlottesville to see my sister who lives over there, and Magpie Knits is my favorite knitting store, and they're over there, and I had a gift card from my birthday, so you know I spent that sucker. So let me show you what I got. I don't know, I was unfamiliar with the yarns that this person used in their Ravelry example. It kind of looked like it might have been like Spanish, Portuguese. I don't know. I will be really honest and say I put like 0 time into researching it because, you know, live life on the fly. Why not? But as close as I could replicate it in the store, this is where I came to. So this caramely brown color will be the main color, and then these will be stripes. And then there's also black, but black I have, so at least I hope I have black. I will obtain black by the time I need it. I have something that will be fine. So, what are these yarns? This is Juniper Moon Patagonia Organic Sheep. And it does have some, like, flecks of other colors in it, which I thought was very interesting, and I am so okay with that. I bought 2 of these, so these are 100-gram hanks, and I got 2 because I'm also going to be, there's like it's a round yoke Halloween themed shawl. I'm tired. A sweater that has ghosts, and it's like orange and white for the whole body of the sweater. And I already have the orange of this yarn that I bought last summer, I think, with the intent of making that shawl. So that's in my stash. So this is to complete my whatever for that pattern. So, you know, it's kind of an intentional purchase, right? Sure. In my D-stash 2025. Haha. So yes, Juniper Moon. I've never worked with this yarn before. It feels really nice. It is 100% wool. That's all it says. And it feels nice, and I really like it. And I bet it's going to smell sheepy, but I can't smell anything right now because I'm still congested. So I'll let you know. Then there is Acadia. Oop. Never heard of this before. The fiber company, Acadia. Rustic blend of silk, noil, baby, alpaca, and merino. It is super soft, and I really like this blue color. I will say I think that some of these, like, they for some reason have their sport weight and their DK kind of mixed in together and not very clearly, like, delineated. So I'm sitting here realizing that the main color is a DK and the pattern calls for a sport weight. I'm just gonna eyeball it. It's gonna be fine. It's a shawl, right? Like, it doesn't really matter if it's too big. The bigger the better. That's great. So this guy's super soft. I got 2 skeins of that. Then this is West Yorkshire Spinners BFL, which I have used this before in a different shawl. I really like this yarn. I think that it takes the dye like super well. So it's kind of like the title of the name of the colorway that the original poster used for the main was called Caramel. And this was as close as I could come, but it's like a really, really warm color. It does have some orange undertones in it that I don't think are coming through in this kind of dying light, but then there's this bright orange, which I have a really hard time picking colors, which is why I usually kind of steal ideas from other people. Sometimes I'll stash dive, and I'll just like stack up a big thing of different colors and just let it sit like next to the TV or you know, somewhere that I'm going to be, like in the living room where I'm going to be for a while, so that I can kind of just let it marinate and see. And I have put together some like surprising colorways. Like that back there is teal, orange, yellow, and like camel color. Would never have put those together ever, but it's my favorite thing I've ever made. So I'm trying to just like let it go and see what we see. So this last one is Le Petite Lamb's Wool, which I have heard about, never used by Bichet Bouche. It's called Dark Orange Gray. I don't think that's gray, but what do I know? It just looks orange. So yeah, never used this yarn, but I have always wanted to try it. So it's lamb's wool from Scotland. How exciting. Very excited. I just want to cast that shawl on now, but like I have an unofficial 3-project rule, not to mention I need to finish that baby sweater, like, let's be honest. Because really, I don't count socks as a project, so in my mind, I could easily convince myself, like, oh, socks don't count, just cast it on a day, but I have got to finish the baby sweater. So baby sweater gets done, that sucker's going on the needles. I can't wait. I think it's going to be beautiful. I have a headache now. I think my cold might not be as gone as I thought it was. I'm flagging in this late evening hour, so I'm going to go have some tea and some water with lemon in it and read a book maybe and just relax. So I hope wherever you are having a wonderful spring, or I guess early fall if you're in the southern hemisphere. Hope you're doing something that makes you happy, and I will see you very soon with another update. Bye for now.